All right. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? Happy Thursday. Man, it's already Thursday. Week is just flying. This week is just flying by. My goodness. Timmy, what's up, man? Good to see you, sir. All right. NQ. Yesterday we had the bounce. So, yesterday we wanted to see can buyers defend 25,400 previous breakout point, right? Pretty clear resistance right through here. On this day, you have the breakout being triggered. Very, very basic stuff. So you get the breakout, price comes back, retest the breakout point. You can expect some buying activity in that area. That's exactly what we saw. Price continued into 24,700 up into 25,900, excuse me, 25,700, 25,900. Now this morning, it is a little bit trickier, but basically I'm working with the idea that the 25,400 is held and buyers will be looking for some continuation here. Now, yesterday was a trend day. I believe it was more than one ATR move. Let's just double check that. Current ATR is 400 yesterday, including the overnight action. We're talking about a 600 point range. So 1.5x ATR move yesterday. I would not be surprised to see an inside day for today. I think thought we had NFP tomorrow. That may or may not come out with the government shutdown ongoing. But point remains, would not be surprised by an inside day for today. So really what I'm going to be focused on is how price responds to the 25,700 right through here. We have the weekly volume point of control right in this area. And I want to see, can buyers defend this point? Can they at the very least defend the overnight low and start to curl this thing higher back up into 900? Or are we going to see some retest, maybe of the prior day low, maybe down into 25,400? So main game plan early in the session here, we want to see how this area is going to be treated. The 25,700 area. Remember last week that 900 held nicely as support. Now it is becoming resistance. So let's see what we're working with for this morning. Yesterday, we basically had one solid entry near the open, and that was pretty much it. I could not really bring myself to get in with a shallow pullback much higher. So pretty uneventful day yesterday, despite the big move. That's how trading's going to be sometimes. That is how it's going to be. It's all good. It's all good. Analysis is one thing. You can nail the analysis, but execution is a different story. Totally different story. And only one of those things puts money in the bank, by the way. It's not analysis, just FYI. So it looks like we're going to have an open right here at 25,700. Oh yeah, remember all that congestion from yesterday? Like just after we turned off the stream, start to see that continuation. But price was really struggling with that area there, prior day structure, prior day volume point of control, 700 level of interest. Ultimately resolved higher, but then again, the question is, can you find an entry? Can you find an entry there? So this morning we'll be opening up with no gap. No gap at all. Got some pretty wide ranges the past couple of days here. 350 points, 390 points. That's RTH. 90 seconds till the open. One minute till the open. Remember the goal today, just following our plan, respecting our rules. That's all we can do, right? Stay disciplined. We're just looking for our A plus opportunity, looking to execute accordingly, do our trade review, do our journaling, then call it a day. One to two really good trades will pay the bills. Yes, sir. Spot on. Less is more. There's a misconception that traders, day traders are active all day long, slapping everything. In some cases, that can be true. Some traders are definitely active all day, but doesn't mean you need to be. Irvin, do I still swing trade? No, sir. I've not put on a swing trade in quite some time. Yeah, I don't think I have the bandwidth right now to be doing that level of research, combing through daily charts. NASDAQ coming into overnight low. 617.25 is your overnight low on NQ. Gabe, overnight low fails and we see 400. Yeah, I'm on pretty much the same page. Although I think we have prior day low before that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I'll definitely be looking at prior day low, 488. But otherwise, same page. Yes, sir. Overnight low coming up 617.25. Let's see. What is ES doing? ES is not into the lows. Gold bouncing versus prior day high. Let's see. Is it going to sweep overnight low? Let's see here. Not quite. $15 looking like stairs. Do you trade the 15? I take it, Gabe. 15 can be spicy sometimes. It's a spicy one. Faster action, lower time frame. Yeah, same. Same page. Same. A little bit of a bounce there. Let's see if buyers can clear 670 area. 25, 670. Six, seven. Gen Z identified. Got him. Got him. TikTok brain. Where's Mish at? Bro, I don't think Mish tunes into the streams anymore, man. uh, yeah, we can't get him in here anymore. So a little failure there at 670. 25, 670. He's too busy fixing everyone's bots. Yeah, there's been a lot of alert refreshes with V2. It's like easy to do, but highly detail oriented. So it's not like it's a challenging task. It's just there's little nuances in those alerts that are easy to overlook. All right, see if we actually get a sweep of the overnight low here. Oh, there he is. He's here. We summoned him. Looks like no spring. No spring granted. Unless it's going to be like a 5-minute, but no springy. That's actually my preference, to be honest. Like I hate a failed spring. Put the spring in, you're long, and it just rolls over right onto your face. Or rather, it just slide right through. Just fail. ES is actually into the lows as well now. So let's see how this retest is going to look at overnight low. Yeah, ES overnight low aligns almost perfectly with the 6,800 level of interest. So, like I wrote up in the pre-market prep notes, if we see continuation here beneath overnight low, I'm all hands off till prior day low. Hands off. Opening 15-minute bar is getting ready to close here. About 5 seconds. There's your overnight low being retested. A little bit of a lift there. I've got no position. Didn't want to risk 40 points on that trade. There's session volume point of control. See, RTY showed more of my flavor of spring right there. Look beneath and then just next bar back above. Quickness, speed. Did not happen in NQ. Here's that intraday structure again, 25,670. They updated Tradeovate like a day or two ago, and now this thing is just hogging RAM. Showing it using 4 gigs of RAM right now. That 670 wall there, some seller sitting there. 25 670. ES new low of day. ES cannot get above VWAP. Coming into 6,800. There's NQ following suit as well. Uptick in volume there on NASDAQ. So, like I said a couple times below, overnight low, looking for a prior day low and the 400 area. Good volume coming in now. Structure is looking a little bit different now on the higher time frames. Yeah, Timmy, that can definitely work. I'm looking for a prior day low or 400. We do have 10 a.m. in 5 minutes. So 10 a.m. aligning with prior day low. I'd definitely be interested in that, seeing the reaction there. Only 80 points to go. You short, Gabe? You riding it? Only on the props, not A plus for personal. Good call. Love to see that segmented risk. All right, coming into PDL, coming in prior day low. Just absorbing the PTG risk management. Personal money is sacred. Heck yeah. Love it. Taking some nasty losses with weekly options this week, or you mean in general? In general, yeah. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, my two worst ever. I had like a $28,000 loss on Nike, zero DTE options. And then Netflix. It's like 19,000. Those were rough days. All right, NQ, here's prior day low. 25,500 area. Almost highest volume of the sesh. Highest volume of the sesh confirmed on that 1 minute bar. And it's 10 a.m. So if we don't see a bounce here, I'll be looking for 400, 25,400. ES is actually through prior day low. No bid there on ES at PDL. Looks like NQ the same, at least initially here. So we wait for 400. See how this 1 minute shapes up. Oh, that makes it easy for me. No failed spring at the prior day low. Perfect. Weekly open, Benny? I think weekly open should be Sunday open. That's way higher. NQ is almost into 400 here anyway. I think Gabe is short from this area right there here. Almost like an internal up thrust. So post 10 a.m., fresh lows being made on the day. We're coming into a level of interest. I'll watch this area. Definitely interested in seeing if buyers step in here, but don't need to be the first one in. So see if we get a bounce in this zone. RTH, that this is uncharted territory here for the regular sesh. These prices I've never traded before. For regular hours, of course. Oh, you can't even see it. There it is. Good volume. And Q almost back in a prior day low. Nothing all that compelling so far. Seems like past few weeks setups have been like close, but not quite all the way there. NQ coming back in a prior day low. Let's see how this 488 is going to be treated. There's a true retest of prior day low. So a reclaim of prior day low with some market structure would be definitely something I would be interested in. So far, that's just a rejection. On ES Mario 6771. So far, both indices rejecting prior day low. We've got good volume here at NASDAQ. Staying patient right now. Life of a long only. Staying patient. New low of day, NQ. That's a little better. All right, back in a prior day low. Can we break prior day low? Can we reclaim PDL? Let's see. Opted for the spring right there. Intraday spring, 23,400. We need to clear this structure. Gotta break the 488. I'll trail at break even if needed. Trade of 8 disconnected. Lovely. Lovely. ES looking a bit better. Yeah, I like the higher low in ES. There we go. We're back. That was a good call from Mario. Nice call, Mario. Mario's dialed in. If you want to talk to someone who knows basically everything about market structure, Mario is your guy. I'm trying out. I think it's called Trade Copia. I'll post a link. First week with them, not affiliated. Right now, I'm not a big fan of. Oh, I can't post the link for some reason. Right now, I'm not a big fan of trade copiers. I had a very poor experience with Trade Syncer. So far, we're seeing if this works. If this doesn't work, honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna have a big future with multiple prop firms because it's just too much to manage, man. It's way too much to manage. Andreas, I'll send you the link in the think tank because for some reason I can't post in the chat. There it is. I sent it over. I was using Replicanto for a few weeks. I'm surprised I didn't bald in that time. Yeah. See that's a valid trade copier experience right there. Exactly. Exactly. That's funny. Oh man. That is good. I lifted the trail. We're about 469 right now for the trail. Yeah, Gabe, I think we just trade differently because I don't mark it out. So if the I'm not going to change my entire style to work with a copier. If the copier doesn't mesh with my trading style, it's not a fit. It's not a fit. I'm not gonna change up my process to mess with any trade copier. Yeah, I've actually heard good things about Replicanto for the most part. I think Benny uses them too, but I'm on Mac. So what can I do? You know? Let's take a look. I think we're getting into yeah, we're starting to get into that 50. I'll start to peel a little more into the 40s here if I can. All right, Mario. See you, man. Nicely done in the ES. Right now, just riding NQ. Trim a little more, and I'll just keep the trail. I'll keep the trail at 6.9. And let's just see. Let's see how far we can take it, honestly. Let's see what we can do. We're into the 50% fib. So I'm just down to runners now. So we took it 435 to 540. It's a 100-point trade right there. And then I did try a little scalp you can see on the screen at the overnight low just for 20 points. Uneventful. Timmy, some of that is props, man. It's not all the personal accounts. So until it hits the bank, props, even your funded accounts, until it hits the bank, it may as well be monopoly money. That's the thing when you see people posting online like, "I made 50K today," and it's just, like, linked prop firms. I mean, it's like, "Alright, you placed that trade, but until the money hits the bank, did you actually make anything?" That may be an unpopular opinion, but even profits in your personal account, until you withdraw that's that money, like, those are dollars at risk. It's not. I always used to say it's not realized. This is from the options days, but we always used to say it's not realized until you withdraw and it hits your bank account, like out of the risk accounts. Let love win. Apex copier. This is the first I've even heard of such a thing. Do you mean you don't mean the built-in Tradeovate group trading? Do you? Because if that's what you're talking about, I would agree. The built-in Tradeovate thing is pretty much flawless. But what I like about this copier that I'm using right now is they support the ATM bracket orders in Tradeovate, which when I was using TradeSyncer, they did not support that. So NQ, we do have a little rejection here at the 50% fib. I'm glad I got some runners off there at the 540. We'll see if I get trailed out. Trail is sitting at 469. I'm not going to move it until it either gets hit or we see a little higher low develop right here. Benny says Apex copier is no good with limit orders. Yeah, so that's going to be a deal breaker for me. Okay, if price can clear 545 here, I'll lift the trail to about 495. There's the entry. If you can't see it, there's the entry. So it's a little intraday spring right at the level of interest. Notice how waiting just like 5-10 minutes gives you such a better risk opportunity as far as like your stop is concerned. That initial bounce from 400, I mean, you're going to end up risking like 60 points there if you try and get in that thing. Yeah, and even this one I did with a little bit lighter size, drop size a little bit. ES traded into 6,800, level of interest rejected now. So we'll see. Prior day low is kind of the nearby reference point. Fanatical, that's a copy trader. Scroll back. We've been talking about it the past 15 minutes. See the prior day low right here. So this kind of basically line in the sand for my trail. If prior day low fails, my trail's going to get taken. But ideally, I'd like to be able to stay in the trade if we're going to hold. Look at the structure, intraday structure right through here, prior day low reference point. We have great volume this morning. Volume is still just solid here. See, a day like today, just let's see. It's Thursday. Tuesday, we had that 75-point trade. Yesterday, no trade day. And then today, already 100-point trade. Just goes to show you don't need to force a trade every single day. If you miss your entry, like yesterday, I missed the ideal entry. I was a little distracted when that materialized. Don't need to chase higher. Don't need to force anything. That next opportunity is just right around the corner. Yeah, more than likely, trail's going to get taken right here. 469. There it is, trailed out. All right. Back to cash. Back to cash. By the way, whenever you take a trade off, remember to hit that exit at market and cancel all button in case you have any rogue limit orders that you forgot about. One hour into the sesh. How we doing? How we doing? I could not be happier. Stayed patient, followed the plan, executed well. Cool, calm, collected. Followed all rules. That's a W if you ask me. Nicole short for him 6,800. Nice. It's great. Irvin red day, but followed the plan. That's the key right there. Red day is not the end of the world, so long as you're respecting your rules and following your plan. Red day is going to happen. Does not mean you did anything wrong. Even A plus trades will fail. Even high hit rate strategies will take losses. So Now, if you're breaking the rules or trading emotionally or not following your plan and then taking a red day, that's a little bit different. Got to tighten up the process, clean things up, drop size maybe, refocus, make sure you're not chasing. All right, Gabe, take care, man. NQ back into the lows, back into 400. So tested the 50% fib retracement. That would be the fib sell zone. And then now new low of day. I would have preferred to have seen 400 hold and price not be revisiting right here. So I'm going to hold off on any repositioning. Notice the 15-minute candle showed no follow through, that bounce candle. The 30-minute doji showed no follow through. So what does that tell us about the strength of sellers right now? 400 was kind of the line in the sand. I'll be looking at really the 250 area before I'm interested again. We do have a potentially a larger structural breakdown right now if price continues to show acceptance beneath 400. I'd posted yesterday in the Traders Think Tank, if we see a closure below 400, it's going to shift the backdrop into neutral bearish. So there's a major area. See what the next 20 minutes have in store for us. Richard, yeah, we're live every morning. All right, Jay, take care, man. Nasdaq, there's all no man's land for me here on NQ. I have to wait for either that 250 area or I need a change of character on the higher time frames with a reclaim of 400. Otherwise, it's hands off. Hands off. Know where you want to engage with price. And if price is not there, you don't do anything. Location, location. Always more important than the actual setup. Setups are a dime a dozen. Setups happen all the time, everywhere. It's not that significant. But when you see a setup with good location, that's when you actually start to get some decent edge. Rich, keeping the win secure. Yes, sir, man. Nice work. $350 looks important. It's so close to 400. You might just be able to lump that in with 400. I try and keep my NQ levels farther apart when I can, at least 100 points away. Otherwise, if you have a level every 20, 30, 40, 50 points on NQ, it's like, what is the point? The 30-second candle alone is going to be like 30 points. And then I always treat them like zones anyway. So it's never going to be an exact pinpoint level. Should have a little bit of a buffer around it. $400 was the breakout point. How do you compare location with microstructure setups that aren't really at the level of interest? Well, those would be lower quality opportunities. So if it doesn't have, basically, if you read my checklist, my criteria for an A plus setup, which is posted in the resources tab of the Traders Think Tank, for an A plus opportunity, I have to have a level of interest. Without a level of interest, I need a reference point or a confluence of levels, confluence of reference points. If I don't even have that, if I don't even have a reference point, or ideally confluence of multiple reference points, then that would be a opportunity that I would consider like a donation. Basically, meaning there's no edge, no long term edge. So that's why a lot of the times on like on the streams, it's just a waiting game for price to get into an area that I actually want to engage with price. And then once it's there, that's great, but then you still need the setup. So like surfing 90% is waiting for the wave. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good analogy. Waiting game. NQ fresh lows. ES coming into the 6750 level of interest. Very clean level to level move there on ES. 6800 reject. Filling the RTH gap, Benny. Let's see it. Yeah. Yeah, 250. 250 area. I'll be interested again. Nicole, are you still in that trade? Maybe with a runner? Wow. Well done. Congrats. 50-point ES trade. Wow. That was like a week maker right there. 50 points in ES. Huge. NQ new lows, just slow drip here. About 4 minutes till 11 a.m. We'll see if we get one more opportunity here. Otherwise, call it. What model do you trade? What model do I trade? I have no idea. I have no idea. Is that another ICT thing? There's an ICT free zone. Good sir. Victoria's Secret, Mish. Just a new word for strategy. The base of my strategy is focus on market structure. Market structure, levels of interest. So you just trade on a whim? Did I say that? No, just trade on a whim. Two till 11. NQ volume remains great. 2 to 3 XR ball. About 1 minute starting to show us some barcode. Orb and Ilm. TLAs everywhere. 3-letter acronyms. Okay, so we are into 11 a.m. I believe Trump is about to speak. We've got ES down into 6750 level of interest. Give it maybe 2 more minutes. Call it a morning. We do have some Fed speak later today as well. Usually is not market moving, but every now and again, you get something a little spicy. All right, folks, I think we call it there. 2 for 2 on the morning. We did the overnight low long just for a scalp, and the 25,400 with the intraday spring. It's a good day. It's a solid day. For late morning, mid morning, late morning, like I said, I'll be looking at reactions into 25,250 or some structure above 25,400, a reclaim of that key pivot. That's a wrap. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank today. We do have the TMG mentorship group coaching call after the close. The live session is available to all Traders Think Tank members. So if you're in the community, even if you're just on a trial, you can jump in the call about 15 minutes after the close today. Hope to see you guys there. If not, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for your time today. Take care.